I'm so excited to meet all of you.
Aisha, Fairy of Waves. You'll see my name on the food in the fridge.
Divas, we have a huge problem here. Hello everybody, my name is Jay and this is Jay's Cam. So, I finally watched Winx Club, The Magic is Back, and all I want to say is I want this franchise to die and for Rainbow SPA to go bankrupt because they don't deserve another penny. This show has won the award for the worst animated project I have seen this year. And there was some good competition because I watched Wish just a few months ago. Okay, spoiler warning or whatever. The show starts with a new rendition of the original theme song and it's, well, something. The show's soundtrack in general is neither good nor bad. It's just average pop songs, nothing you haven't heard before. And I miss that more rock and jazz inspired music of the original cartoon. It was something that made Winx Club stand out even more in that girl-centered cartoon world. I mean, just listen to this. And then we move on to the first episode, where we can take a look at the amazing movie level, as the director once said, animation.
I know a better way.
That monster is probably after your ring, Stella. I'm Flora. Nice to meet you.
Follows me on social.
Oh my god. Remember that animation test made by Hampa Studio that was shown at Comic-Con last year? We didn't know how good we had it until we lost it. Oh Hampa, I miss you. Well, the studio did animate the transformation sequences, and you can tell because the difference in quality between them and the rest of the show is enormous. They were actually supposed to do the animation for the entire show, but for some reason it was done by some Chinese studio instead. What the streets are saying is it was because Rainbow lost some of the funding they were meant to get from the Italian government, but I can't find any information on that except for some tweets, so don't quote me on that. To be fair, some scenes look really good, especially those towards the end of the season, but they are just exceptions. Most of the time we see stiff movements, weird faces, and animation errors so obvious and so easy to fix, it's absurd that some of them made it to the final product. You mean to tell me that nobody in that gosh darn studio looked at this or this and decided to go back and change it? Well, that what happens when you rush a project. And speaking of rushing, the show's pacing makes me feel like we're running in a freaking horse race. Let's recap some of the events from the first episode, shall we? We meet Bloom, whose powers already manifest themselves. She gets a bike from her parents, then she goes for a ride and she sees Stella and Flora fighting an ogre, which I'm assuming is not. She gets attacked, so she uses her power. Stella and Flora are like, what? Did you see that? They tell her to go to Althea, so she does. She lies to her parents and says she got accepted to a fancy schmancy boarding school, inspired by the live action, I suppose. And then she just fucking walks away. No portal, no nothing, which kind of makes it look like Althea is on Earth. Honestly, now that I think about it, I don't recall any of the characters using the word planet ever. Whereas in the original show, they made it very clear right from the get-go that all of them are basically aliens. Okay, so Bloom arrives at Althea at the 4-minute mark. Are you kidding me? May I remind you that it took them an episode and a half to do that in 2004? And it felt way better. You see, the biggest problem with this plot going so fast is us not seeing what Bloom's life looked like when it was still normal. We don't really know who she is, we don't really know who her parents are, and most important of all, we don't know who Mitzi is. She just randomly appears in the second episode, and I, an old fan, know that she's Mitzi. She's the mean girl. But from the perspective of somebody who's never seen the original, Bloom is the jerk. She pushes Mitzi, dismisses her when she's trying to strike a conversation, and locks her in the bathroom stall. Oh, and yeah, Bloom leaves Althea in the second episode. And as she's packing her things, we get those gut-wrenching flashbacks of her hanging out with the other girls. But like, come on now, you've known those people for less than a week. You've been to one class, you've thrown one party. It worked in the original show because Bloom decides to leave in episode freaking 18. And it was after she had embarrassed herself in front of the entirety of Magical Dimension, or at least the most important people of the Magical Dimension, and after it was revealed that her boyfriend was lying to her about his identity this entire time. In the new show, it's because Icy, a witch Bloom already has a reason not to trust, manipulates her into thinking that she's destined to become evil and destroy the entire school. Which could have worked, and it did in the original. And speaking of which, in the first episode we get this line from Flora.
Not all witches are bad, and not all fairies are perfect.
Huh, interesting. So tell me, why is Bloom so afraid of being a witch? You know what? No. I could forgive Bloom for being prejudiced against witches because she's from Earth and witches are evil in Earth culture. But why is everybody else so afraid of Bloom being a witch? I mean, don't you all live in harmony now? Damien is later revealed to be a warlock, but they still like him. And since we're already on this topic, let's talk about that freaking ceremony. The new students of Althea just line up, and then Faraganda and Griffin kind of just tell them whether they're a fairy or a witch, based on their vibes, I guess, I don't know. And also, I hate the way you can just tell which girl is going to be a fairy and which girl is going to be a witch just by looking at them. Who wrote this? Who designed this? Or should I say, what wrote this and what designed this? May I remind you, we had a full-on goth emo fairy back in 2005. As in Myrta, who was a witch that transitioned into being a fairy. But she didn't change her style to do it, she was still emo. Let's get back to Damien for a second. I hate him. Easily the worst character in the entire show. And I also hate myself for taking so long to realize that he's just a very, very weird self-insert of Eugenio Straffi himself. I mean, come on now. Out of nowhere, we get a brand new character, very important character, with a huge amount of screen time, who is later revealed to wield half of the Dragon Flame, be Bloom's twin brother, and also is Flora's love interest. Flora's Eugenio's favorite Winx, if you didn't know. The relationship is so forced too. Damien is literally so mean to everybody, including the teachers. Doesn't help the girls in any way, but Flora still goes back to him and tries to be friendly. She even has the audacity to say in one episode,
I think you're pretty strong. Stronger than you know.
even though he has no control over his powers. And no, she can't be talking about mental strength either, because Damien is a little bitch. I like Techno. I didn't really know where to put her in the script, so I'ma just say it. I like what they've done with her character. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's kind of stereotypical, but boy oh boy is it entertaining.
What do we do? Fly away?
She's the only source of some good comedy in this show, and let me tell you, there are many jokes in Winx Club, The Magic is Back, but not all of them land. Before I finish off, I just wanted to talk about the biggest problem with the writing, or rather the reason why it is the way it is. I think the writers relied too much on the fact that the older fans were going to watch this shit, to the point that the show itself doesn't even know who its target audience is. Older fans don't like it because it ruined the legacy of the franchise, and I doubt any kids today will like it because the show is just too chaotic and confusing. They wanted to include so many iconic plot points from the original show. Bloom leaving Althea, Sky and Diaspro, Musa's concert, Winx getting their powers sealed away, an outdoors assignment, Stella getting catfished, Dark Bloom, a power upgrade. And it hurts the overall watchability of the project. You can't just cram 3 seasons worth of content into 13 episodes and expect it to be good. Thank you for listening to me ranting for however long this video is. Believe it or not, there are a lot more problems with this show that I just chose not to mention. The most obvious being the AI allegations. And I'm using the word allegations because I don't want to get sued. In conclusion, I'm just so disappointed to see my favorite show from my childhood look like this, kept alive only for profit and not because there's someone out there who wants to make good media for children. And children deserve good media. We all do. So please, support real artists. Support things made for people, by people. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Bye guys!